Bonsoir à tous. How are you doing today? Comment ça va? I hope you're doing great. It's Tuesday, May the 12th today. And because I was working all day on the video for today about dessus dessous, my schedule is so tight, packed, that I didn't even have time to prepare for today either. So I'm going to do the translations with you and show you how I look for things, and I will give you all the context and the examples. If this is your first time, welcome. What we do here is that we read a tale by Patrick Beau, the author of nanofiction, and we analyze the vocabulary, we understand the context, we understand the tenses. Usually it's le passé simple, as you know. And we read this all together, even though we don't hear each other, but I can guarantee that I can hear you from here. So in Grenoble, it's the second day of le déconfinement, as they say. Not very, very comfortable with this idea yet, because actually nothing really changed. So in terms of pandemic and what we know about the virus. So we'll see how this goes, but at home we are trying to stay very, very, very careful. Let's start together. Breathe in, breathe out, and let's read the first tale together. 1, 2, and 3. Pour la première fois, la Terre recevait des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. Chaque semaine, un signal bref était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. Après plusieurs mois de travail, une équipe de cryptologues rendit ses conclusions. C'était un compte à rebours. Oh, wow! So yesterday we did two ghost stories, and today we have one about aliens and one about more poetry. Let's look at the first sentence together and try to find the liaison, okay, if there are any. 1, 2, and 3. Pour la première fois, la Terre recevait des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. Here we can say des transmissions intelligentes. Transmissions intelligentes? Yes, I think you can put this. And this is the only liaison that we have here. Pour la première fois. For the first time. Pour la première fois. And remember what it is at the beginning of a tale? Once upon a time. How do we say this in French? Do you remember? It is il était une fois. That's the beginning. And remember the end? Ils vécurent heureux et eurent beaucoup d'enfants. Ils vécurent heureux et eurent beaucoup d'enfants. This is the beginning, and this is the end of a traditional fairy tale in French. Pour la première fois, for the first time, la Terre recevait des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. La Terre, it is the earth, recevait, this is the verb recevoir, recevoir. Recevoir, it is to receive. For example, j'ai reçu ton email ce matin. I received your email this morning. J'ai reçu ton email ce matin. What does Google want me to write? No. And by the way, some people might have taught you about un courriel in order to say an email, but very few people use that. It is the French approved word for an email, where we just when we just use the English word. Un courriel. Un courriel. Yeah, my son says yes. But we don't use it much. You might see it, you might want to use it, that's absolutely fine. But most people are going to use un email. with the French pronunciation, email. Email. My son is 10 centimeters away from breaking something that I really like. So I'm just keeping an eye on him. Okay, I'm going to just take 1 second to remove this massive frame that I don't want him to touch. Give me a sec. In order to film today's lesson that you will see, the weekly lesson that I posted today, I made some pictures and I removed the big frame that was on top of my desk, and I don't want him to break it. I don't want to break his head either. Recevait. So recevait, it is the verb recevoir. Des transmissions. Une transmission is a transmission. This is pretty easy to guess. Intelligente. Intelligent is clever usually. Intelligent, it is clever. Intelligent is clever. And now he's right behind, below my chair. So I'm not going to move. Intelligent. So you can use clever, you can use bright. Bright is usually what we're going to say. And you can say intelligent as well. And here it is more the idea of intelligent, of smart. That something that has reasoning. Okay, intelligent. It's like artificial intelligence. It's that. It's not random or made by the stars. It is by an intelligence. Des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. Venu de is coming from space. And here it's more sent from space because this is where it all originates. Venu de l'espace. Venir is to come, to arrive. Venir de l'espace. L'espace, it is space. And it is a plural. Un espace. Un espace. No, I'm going to put l'espace. It is masculine. Okay. This is useful to know if you want to use this word. Okay. L'espace. So let's repeat the sentence together. Pour la première fois, la Terre recevait des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. Okay? Good. Let's move on to the next sentence. Chaque semaine, un signal bref était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. Ça va? Ça va? Okay, all good. Chaque semaine, it is each week. Chaque semaine. Chaque, it is each. And it is useful when you want to say each something. Okay? For example, chaque... how can we say? Chaque chien sera lavé gratuitement ce matin. Why not? Each dog will be washed for free this morning. Chaque chien sera lavé gratuitement ce matin. Chaque chien sera lavé gratuitement ce matin. So each plus something. Plus a noun. And if you wanted to say each, to each, it would be different. For example, you could say un masque sera distribué à chacun. And you could say like venez à la mairie jeudi matin. I like mornings. Venez à la mairie jeudi matin, un masque sera distribué à chacun. Come to la mairie on Thursday morning, a mask will be distributed to each of you. And here you do not write anything after. It is not chacun plus a noun. It is only chacun. For a noun, you put chaque. Un signal bref, a brief signal. Bref, it is very brief. Signal était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. Était intercepté. What is intercepté in English? Intercepté, it is to intercept. Okay. Catch. To not really to deflect. Was intercepted. Okay. I would say received, rather. So it is the same. Était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. So it is a kind of telescope that is bigger when you want to catch some stars and other planets. Radiotélescope, it is the same word. Do we have a liaison here? What do you think? Can you spot it? We have one here that is between était et intercepté. Ready to read that? 1, 2, 3. Chaque semaine, un signal bref était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. Okay. Still recording? Yeah, fine. And let's read the last sentence together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Après plusieurs mois de travail, une équipe de cryptologues rendit ses conclusions. C'était un compte à rebours. Oh! Ooh, what's going to happen? If it is aliens that watched movies about us like a few days ago, this is not a good thing. Après plusieurs mois de travail, after several months of work, plusieurs, non, several. Plusieurs is several. Une équipe de cryptologues, a team of cryptologists, I assume. Cryptologue, it is the people who have to decode codes, enigmas. Okay. I don't have a word for that, but because it's always ogist, the translation of og, I'm going to say cryptologist. Une équipe de cryptologues, une équipe is a team, and it's always feminine. Une équipe. Une équipe, a team. Une équipe de cryptologues rendit ses conclusions. Rendre is to give back. And usually it is also the word that you give when you're submitting a paper or submitting homework. What do we have here? To give back, yes, but it's not what I'm looking for. Return, make. I think it is more submit here. When you are talking about scientific conclusions or any kind of conclusion of a big work, the idea of submitting is much more works much better. So, for example, j'ai rendu mes devoirs de maths hier. And usually, you can say mon devoir. Mon devoir de maths hier. I'm going to put this as an alternative. J'ai rendu mes devoirs de maths hier. J'espère que j'aurai une bonne note. I submitted my homework, my math homework yesterday. I hope I'm going to have a good grade. Une bonne note, it is a good grade. Une bonne note. C'était un compte à rebours. I think you say countdown based on the TV show that I know. Compte à rebours. Yeah, countdown. Un compte à rebours, it is a countdown. That's scary. Let's reread the full tale together, and I'm going to translate to make sure that everybody understands the twist. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's read together. I want to hear you, okay? Pour la première fois, la Terre recevait des transmissions intelligentes venues de l'espace. Chaque semaine, un signal bref était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. For the first time, the Earth was receiving intelligent transmissions from space. So this is different from what they were receiving before, because before we only received random things or signals from stars or planets, not something that was made on purpose. But chaque semaine, un signal bref était intercepté par les radiotélescopes. Each week, a brief signal was intercepted by the radio telescope. I think it's the radio telescopes. And this is surprising because it is a very short signal at the same interval, which is a week, and we don't know yet what this could be, but it is something that is made on purpose. Après plusieurs mois de travail, une équipe de cryptologues rendit ses conclusions. C'était un compte à rebours. After several months of work, a team of cryptologists managed to understand what the brief signal was that was sent every week, and they submitted their conclusions. It was a countdown, and this means that something is going to happen at the end of the countdown, but we don't know what it is. The tale leaves this door open to our imagination. So what do you think this is going to be? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. This is a funny thing. And again, I hope it doesn't relate to the tale that we read a few days ago where the aliens had to blow the White House because they thought that this is what all the aliens do based on what they saw on our movies, in our movies. Let's read the second tale together. My son is experimenting with crawling, and it tests new things, and it's pretty funny. Let's read the second tale together. Il consacra sa vie à bâtir une tour solitaire au milieu de nulle part. Un jour, quand il jugea que sa tour était assez haute, il installa une grande torche au sommet et il devint le premier gardien de phare à surplomber la mer des nuages. Sorry. That's very, very poetic. Let's reread the first tale. The first sentence, sorry. Il consacra sa vie à bâtir une tour solitaire au milieu de nulle part. Il consacra. Consacrer, you have the word sacred in the middle. So it is to concentrate on something that is important. Consacrer is to dedicate. To dedicate your life to something. And here it is consacrer sa vie. Dedicate his life. Il consacra sa vie, he dedicated his life à bâtir. Bâtir, it is to build. To build. And un bâtiment is obviously, what do you think that is? It is a building. Un bâtiment, it is a building, and you can find the same origin here. À bâtir une tour solitaire. A solitary tower. Une tour solitaire au milieu de nulle part. In the middle of nowhere. Nulle part, it is nowhere. And for those who are interested in popular French culture, there was a program that you should know if you're interested. Not that you should in the past, but should look out. In France, it was Nulle part ailleurs. It was in the 90s. It's a very, very, very popular and famous program in France. It was on the it was on the channel Canal Plus that still exists, but the program doesn't exist anymore. But it is the origin. It is at the origin of so much humor for the years 2000. That is very, very important if you're into French culture to check it out. And this is where Les Nuls come from, for example, and other groups later. But Les Nuls are a very famous group of comedians, and yeah, they're very funny. And they created lots of things that are very, very referenced still now. So for French culture aficionados, check Nulle part ailleurs, Canal Plus, and Les Nuls. Il consacra sa vie à bâtir une tour solitaire au milieu de nulle part. He dedicated his life to building a solitary tower in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so far so good. What happened? Un jour, quand il jugea que sa tour était assez haute, here we have une liaison. Quand il jugea que sa tour était assez haute, il installa une grande torche au sommet, okay, et il devint le premier gardien de phare à surplomber la mer des nuages. I would say la mer de nuages. I want you to check it out. Mer de nuages. Okay, no, so I'm going to unfortunately correct his French here and say la mer de nuages. Un jour, it is one day. Quand il jugea, when he judged, when he thought, when he estimated, que sa tour était assez haute, that his tower was big enough. Assez haute, it is big enough. And assez and then an adjective is something that you can use everywhere. For example, je pense que je suis assez qualifié pour avoir le poste. I think I'm qualified enough to get the job. And here we have this assez that we saw. And again, you see it is an adjective. Je suis... Non. Louise est assez petite pour entrer, pour passer sous la table. Louise is small enough to pass under the table. Que sa tour était assez haute. So again, here you have the assez, and you can add any adjective to say enough. Oh, and you have assez, pas assez, and trop. Okay, I'm going to write this so you have assez, pas assez, trop. Assez is enough, or assez, pas assez is not enough, and trop is too much. So, for example, Louise n'est pas assez petite pour passer sous la table. She's not small enough. And here it is... And here we have Louise est trop petite pour passer sous la table. She's too small. So this is something that you should master because it's really helpful when you want to give an opinion on something. Like this is what we would use. Assez, pas assez, trop. Il installa une grande torche au sommet. He installed a big, do you say torch as well? Torch? It is something where you're going to put fire in order to illuminate something. Okay, torch, it is the same. He installed a big torch at the top. Le sommet is the top. And usually it is the summit. Et il devint le premier gardien de phare. And he became the first what? Un phare, it is a lighthouse. Un phare, it is a lighthouse. And un gardien de phare. We have it here. Lighthouse keeper. Un gardien, it is a keeper. So he would become the first lighthouse keeper as surplombé. Surplombé is when you're above something that's really big and you can see everywhere. Surplombé, to overhang, overlook. Here I'm going to use overlook. Isn't that the name of the hotel in Shining? I think I have a vague memory that that's the name of the hotel in English in Shining. The Shining. Well, you will let me know because you probably knew that. La mer de nuages. Do you have a translation? It is the sea of clouds. But I wonder if there is a poetic way to say that. There doesn't seem to be. No. I'm going to check it out here. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Mer. So again, I've showed you this before. When you want to look for something on word reference, you look for the original word and then you can look for it. Nuage. Okay, nothing. Okay. So it is the cloud of the sea of cloud. And it is the word that we have for it. I'm not sure you have a translation for that because again in word reference they didn't say anything, but la mer de nuages is the word, the expression that we have for that. It is when you are in a plane and you pass the clouds and you see it from above, it looks like a sea of clouds. So it is exactly that. In French, we have this expression, la mer de nuages. I'm going to reread the full tale and explain everything. Can you try to read it with me? 1, 2, 3. Il consacra sa vie à bâtir une tour solitaire au milieu de nulle part. He dedicated his life to building a solitary tower in the middle of nowhere. So there, we don't know why he's doing it, what he's trying to achieve, and what's the outcome of that. And then we have a bit of an explanation. Un jour, quand il jugea que sa tour était assez haute, il installa une grande torche au sommet et il devint le premier gardien de phare à surplomber la mer de nuages. This is extremely poetic, and I'm sure planes can see him, and maybe from space as well. Un jour, one day, quand il jugea que sa tour était assez haute, when he judged that his tower was big enough, high enough, here it is high enough. I'm going to put high because high is much more appropriate. Il installa une grande torche au sommet. He built a massive torch at the top. And here it is implied that it is light. He lighted it as well. So you have fire. But still you don't know why. et il devint le premier gardien de phare à surplomber la mer de nuages. And he became the first lighthouse keeper to overlook the sea of clouds. So he is not overlooking the sea. That is usually what is expected of a lighthouse. He's overlooking the sea of clouds because his tower is so high he can see above the clouds. And he's going to maybe help the planes or the aliens or space see where they are, where he is. So that's a very poetic tale for today. I wish you une bonne journée, une bonne soirée, maybe une bonne nuit. It's so lovely to be with you each night. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And I will see you tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. Paris time. Take care, stay at home, stay safe. Have a lovely day. Salut!